Jeff Zalonis.
Here.
Mark Tannenbaum. Absent. Jason Wazor.
Present.
Present. And Kathy Rosdick. This is going to be great. Okay, so we have no minutes to approve at this point. The minutes are still in process of being prepared from the last meeting as well as multiple meetings. So we'll move directly from the approval of minutes to our public comment period. Do we have anyone who is logged in online that would like to participate in the public comment period? If so, please notify us via chat or whatever tool you can. And remember to please keep your comments to 5 minutes. I see that Brad has taken himself off mute, and so perhaps... Brad, would you like to speak? Please continue, he writes. Okay, thank you. Do we have any other individuals that are on the Zoom that would like to say anything as part of... Okay, fantastic, we do. Mm-hmm. We just need to unmute her.
You guys hear me?
Now we can. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. I was just hoping for an update. I think most of us know that Chris has resigned, so just trying to understand kind of what the next steps are and how the program is going to move forward. So I'll start there, and then I do have some comments after that.
So I was going to. Aaron, yes, we do have a portion of the meeting that in the new business, but to go quickly, just to provide a quick update for the Historic Building Improvement Grant Program, the grant program has been placed on hold, and so there are no decisions being made right now. And so those applications that are waiting, that have been received and are in the queue, no decisions are being made. And so right now there are, I think, discussions happening, particularly later today. We will be going into an executive session to discuss the future of that program. So at this point, no decisions are being made. And when there is action that will be taken, all those who have applied will receive some type of notification and or correspondence from the city. So go ahead with your comments.
Okay. Yeah, it was more just so, speaking for me and kind of the people, I see some of the same people on the calls from the previous meetings, just the hope that our applications will continue to be reviewed, and to formally ask, I don't know if this is proper or the right thing to do, but just to formally ask that if guidelines are changed that would kind of exclude our projects from being considered, to just formally ask for the possibility to be grandfathered in under the previous guidelines, just knowing that there have been a lot of projects that have the similar or even same scopes of work as our projects that have been approved and funded. So just in this kind of spirit of fairness, that some people were able to take advantage and some people may not be under the new guidelines, to just formally kind of ask for that grace to still be considered. And then I think I spoke a little bit about it on the last call, but just to kind of reiterate after my rabbit hole into all the ARP research and kind of what the money was intended for, just to make sure that it's not being kind of segmented for maybe specific historic homes. Like, for example, if we're not like a 6th Street mansion that were excluded, just to make sure it's still kind of fair and equitable for all homes in historic neighborhoods throughout the city, and just to make sure that that's considered. So just a little quick blurb just to kind of plead our case to continue to be considered, but that was kind of really all I had to say.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Do we have Anyone else that would like to speak? We do. I see a hand, but the words are way too small. I can't read a name. Winnie, go ahead.
Hi, thank you so much. I would just like to echo the same sentiments as Erin just talked about. My husband and I are working on improving our home that was built in 1905, certainly a historic home, but it might be not in the traditional fanciest neighborhood, but I thought that was part of the intent of this funding. We don't have a whole lot of money to put into projects in our home, but we're working hard and we're trying. And some of the things that we need done on our home are windows and doors and painting and porches. And I've been to meetings for months now and watching other people have the funding approved for their projects with these other type of projects. I thought that we should start with our windows first, and that's the project that we are requesting funding for. Had I known that windows were going to be under such scrutiny, I probably would have put in a different application for some of the other projects that we would like to get done on our home. And without this funding, we aren't going to be able to do all of the projects. And that would be a shame, because I thought that was the intent of this funding. So I would just like to echo Erin's same comments as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for comments. Do we have anyone else who would like to speak? Very good. Hearing none, we again want to thank those. Okay. Go ahead, Mark.
I'm just in total disbelief, because the last meeting, Jeff was very clear that you guys are going to have a meeting off to the side and that all of the things that were tabled were going to be resolved. And so your resolve is basically saying we're not going to do anything at this point. Is that correct?
So again, at this point, the program remains on hold.
Okay, got it.
Anything else, Mark?
No,
Okay.
I'm just kind of in disbelief, really, because I've had this contractor on hold now for 3 months, and now I got to tell him that it's on hold indefinitely, from what I understand.
We understand kind of what you're facing, but unfortunately at this point, the program is on hold for multiple reasons. And so we understand, we're sympathetic to where you're at with your project. We're just thankful that you show up and that you're willing to talk with us. So thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Do we have anyone else? Or we'll consider that the public comment period complete or closed? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on then to old business.
Hey, Melinda, just to clarify one thing, as far as the program being on hold, here I'm going to ask you to clarify what you said in the email, right? 2 parts of the program. There are grants that have been approved and work being done, and that needs someone to inspect them when the work is done and then file for reimbursement. Chris typically did that inspection, and now Erin, the redevelopment authority is going to handle inspections for grants that have already been approved, right? So that's not on hold. Those people can continue to apply for application or their reimbursement, correct?
Yes.
Okay, it's just the new grants that have not been approved that are on hold.
Correct.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so as we stated in the public comment period in response to Erin's questions, again, the first item in old business is that the Historic Building Improvement Grant Program has been placed on hold until review of the program and discussions can be had about the program itself. So we will move on to new business. And under new business, we just have 2 items. We do want to note that the Historic Preservation Planner, Chris Kinder, has submitted his resignation. So we want to formally thank Chris for his efforts the last 1 to 2 years. I can't recall now how long he's been with the city, but we want to thank him for his service and his work here with the Historic Review Commission and the Historic Building Improvement Grant Program, and wish him well with his next endeavor. The second item under new business is to go into executive session, and so our commission is going to go into executive session and will then come back out to adjourn. So at this time, are we closing the Zoom or leaving it open?
There won't be anything to watch, so you can close it. Just know that there will be no action taken after you come out of executive session. So there's nothing for people who are watching. There's nothing that will happen after this.
Not sure if everyone online heard that, but there will be no action taken by the commission following the executive session. And so the executive session, following the executive session, there will be adjournment only. So if you hang on and continue to stay logged into the Zoom meeting, there's no activity that you will experience or hear other than the Historic Review Commission adjourning when we're finished.